I think it's a losing battle for him, and I think he could have handled it better. Again, like I spoke with somebody, a former head coach last night about it and stuff, and they were just like, you can no coach wants to give injury information out, right? But you don't have to be combative about it. And picking a fight like that is probably not the way to go. And if he wanted to make a point, if he was upset with Rich, he probably should have spoken to Rich privately and not made it public like that.
Hello and welcome to Gangs All Here. My name is Ryan Sampson. That's my Jets beat writer, Brian Costello, and that's my guy, Frankie Verini from U Stadium. Today is Wednesday, November 12th. We're doing the podcast a little bit early as the Jets have a Thursday night game against the New England Patriots. First time they're playing the Patriots this year. Week 11, Jets are 2-7. They have Frankie and Coz a winning streak. They've won more than one in a row. We call that a winning streak around here. So
Technically.
yeah, technically, as the Jets worked our way through the rest of this season, we're going to preview this game against the Patriots, talk a little bit about the what if Mike Vrabel had been the Jets head coach instead of Aaron Glenn, maybe, and we'll discuss, as always, over-unders and picks. But before we get to any of that, I'll start with Coz. How are you doing today on this Wednesday morning, sir?
Ask Rich.
We'll get into that, too. We'll get into that. Frankie, how you doing, bud?
Same thing, man. Ask Rich. I don't need to tell you. You can figure
Are
it
both
out.
you guys banged up? Do I need to ask Rich about that, too?
No, you know what? I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I think tomorrow will be the measuring stick for Aaron Glenn. This is his biggest challenge yet as the head coach of the Jets, outside of dealing with the media. This will be Glenn's biggest challenge. We'll see what he's about and what this team's about because all the odds are stacked against us. So we'll see.
Yeah, they started out as 11.5 point dogs. They're now 12.5.
Oh, it went up again.
Latest to FanDuel right now. And if you guys get a chance, check out Post Sports Plus. Subscribe. You should be subscribed already for all the great content from Kaz and all of our other writers. Kaz put out a cool piece this morning about also the Jets when they're such huge underdogs like this and what their record is. It's pretty wild to read back and see. But look, we'll start here with this game against the Patriots. I want to ask you, Kaz, because you put it in your Post Sports piece about the what if of Mike Vrabel. I know that when we were talking about coaching candidates, I was preaching Mike Vrabel's the guy. That's the guy I would go all in for. I know they got a chance to interview him before the Patriots even fired Gerard Mayo. Do you even wonder what if the Patriots had not moved on from Mayo and Vrabel was still that free agent and the Jets were able to secure him? Would this season have played out differently?
Yeah, I think you have to wonder that because he's doing a pretty great job in New England. Now, obviously, he's got a quarterback,
Right.
which helps. But he's just impressive, right? Like you watch him. I see clips of the press conferences and stuff, and he's his messaging, I think, is impressive. I've talked to some of the writers up there that I know, and they've been impressed. A lot of them knew him from as a player, but they've been impressed by how he's handled everything. And you can just tell he's been in the job before. And we always talk about that, right? Like the Giants are going through that right now. Should they hire somebody with experience and what that means? And, you know, guys can be successful in their first time as a head coach, but you can tell he's just comfortable in the job and he's comfortable in his own skin. And I think that shines through. And yeah, the Jets had him. It was the Friday before the Dolphins game last year, which was a little weird because the Jets were out in the field practicing and Vrabel was in the building, which rubbed some people the wrong way. But he was in there and they had him in. And, I there's Jets people who were convinced he wasn't using them and that he had genuine interest, but whatever, 2 days later, the Patriots moved on from Mayo and it was pretty clear that's where he was going. But you talk to people who interacted with him that day, not necessarily even the guys like in the interview I'm talking about. There was other people that interacted and just they were like, "This is what we need. This is the guy we need," and they loved him. But once the Patriots job opened up, that's where he was going.
Yeah, it always felt like he was destined for that Patriots job. As soon as you said, like that job came open, it's like crap. And that was like the what if. Like I always, again, I'm gonna continue to play in my head is like because we'll get to the Aaron Glenn part of this, but it's just this guy, like you said, has the history. He has the cachet. Like he's been there. He's a Super Bowl champion as a player. He's not a Bill Belichick disciple in the coaching world, but in terms of playing under Belichick, he has that type of discipline. You feel like on the field and the way he works his locker room. Frankie,
He's
do
a
you?
great game management guy too, right?
Yeah.
Like
He is
his
definitely.
his in-game decisions are just so good, and so yeah, I'll give you another what if. What if after 2023, when he got fired by Tennessee, the Jets said, "All right, he's available. I know we said we're keeping Salah, but let's fire Salah. If we can get Vrabel, let's fire Salah."
Yeah.
Now, the Aaron Rodgers piece was there. I don't know how Aaron Rodgers would have felt about that, and he had a lot of sway at that point in the organization. But that's another what if I've thought about too, because they were committed to Salah, but the Vrabel piece was an interesting wrinkle that he became available.
Yep. Yep. Certainly feels like that was I know it's always revisionist history, but it feels like that was an opportunity, like you said there, Cause too, of like if they had moved on from Salah that early, because you could see Woody Johnson clearly didn't feel
Yeah,
great about the head
5 games.
5 games, and that's it. Frankie, do you make yourself wonder again as a Jets fan, like if the Jets missed out a huge opportunity with Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, at the time I wanted an offensive minded head coach. I was always stuck on that. So I wasn't so sad when Vrabel ended up going to the Patriots. The interesting part about that dynamic is Aaron Glenn actually declined to interview with the Patriots. So I wonder
I
how
think he
that.
knew because he knew Vrabel was getting that job.
Yeah, you don't think it was a Gerard Mayo thing
No,
had
I
to
think he
do with
knew.
that? No.
No, I think he knew Vrabel was getting the job, and so yeah, it was pretty. And if I remember correctly, I think they were scrambling to try to get some Rooney Rule compliance there because everyone knew that
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
hiring
yeah, yeah.
Vrabel, and I don't think Aaron Glenn was going to be used for a Rooney Rule interview. That'd be my
Interesting.
projection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but Ryan, I would have loved Rabel here, man. I mean, I think the experience variable that Kaz spoke about is everything that this sort of team needs. I think this team is young. We're one of the youngest rosters in the NFL. And you see it this season where our coach is trying to figure it out. The players are trying to figure things out. Tanner Engstrand's his first year here.
Yep.
So first year calling plays in the NFL. So it's everyone's learning, and I think someone like Mike, if he came here, he would have brought a level of veteran leadership that this team sort of needs. And he was former coach of the year. He did a lot with that Tennessee roster, by the way. Let's not forget what he did with Ryan Tannehill. So he really gets players to play at towards their ceiling and really develop while he's there. You look at what he's doing right now with Drake May. Drake May he's the MVP favorite on a lot of sports books. So I mean he's getting the most out of these guys, and he's done a great job, man. He has.
Yeah, and he's also relied on guys like Josh McDaniels, who's obviously been there for a
Totally.
long time in New England
Yep.
as the offensive coordinator. Has gone off and done other things, but then come back. So for the fact that he's kept that nucleus together, and it seems to already be great. Like the Patriots, I can't believe we're back in this position, guys. Like they look like the dumpster fire
Unbelievable,
of all
man.
dumpster fires 2 years ago when the Jets finally beat them. But it's like now all of a sudden, like you said, Kaz, they got their quarterback. They have their CEO type head coach. They have a smart offensive coordinator that's had history of proven success. And now their
They signed,
defense,
yeah,
like
they signed good
they
players.
signed good
Yeah,
players. They went all in on the free agent class too. So
Yeah.
it's scary that the Patriots are all of a sudden again, and it looks like the division could be theirs. I mean, the Bills obviously falling down in Miami, that's going to hurt
yeah,
them
it's
in the long
crazy.
run. That the Patriots could be winning this
Yeah,
division.
I think as we talked about the other day, Ryan, I'm not completely sold that the
I
Patriots are
know.
this juggernaut that's going to run off, the rest of the season, but they're good. They're good. And I think one thing about Vrabel, I can't remember who made this point back in the hiring cycle, but I thought it was a good one, is he's basically like he experienced everything as a player. So he was a third round draft pick of the Steelers, right? And he gets viewed as a disappointment with the Steelers. So they move on from him. The Patriots, he was a cheap signing by the Patriots. So he's kind of experienced that world of like you got cut, you weren't, you were viewed as a bust. Then a team brings you in as a low level signing. Then he has success.
Mm.
He gets a big contract from the Patriots. So he's been in that kind of boat. Then he gets traded to the Chiefs. So he's been traded. Like he kind of has experienced it all in the NFL, which was I thought was an interesting point by somebody.
Yeah, and you would figure that experience helps him, just like you would figure that experience would help Aaron Glenn as a player here in New York with handling the media. And this brings me to the gang sounds off, fellas.
I'm going to pass on talking about injuries. Since Rich, he's not here, has all the answers, so you guys can get all the injuries from Rich.
Last one, is Garrett a candidate for IR, or is that not something you want to?
Ask Rich.
I'm asking you.
Well, I'm telling you to ask Rich.
He's not here though. AG.
Well, you better call him.
No disrespect to you or Rich, but like we want to hear from you. You know, like that.
You guys have been here. You guys have been hearing from me, but now since we're just reporting stuff, that I haven't said, then maybe you should ask him.
Look, we keep repeating this with Aaron Glenn every week for Gang Sounds Off because he just continues to give us quotes to respond to. There's something here that I want to present to you, Coz, before I get your actual reaction to what Glenn had done yesterday. I see a lot of fans on social media who are like, we love this. We love this from Aaron Glenn. Screw the media. The media has always been worse towards the coaches. They don't care. Like this is Glenn setting his trend and how he wants to basically run the media and have it his way and control the information and the flow of it. So this was him saying a big F you to the media. So I don't understand that part, but I guess I would love to hear your perspective here because I know what you said last week when you said it gives us something to write about, Ryan. Like it makes it interesting. So how are you viewing when Aaron Glenn goes into the press room yesterday and says, I'm not discussing injuries with you guys. Go to Rich Cimini over there who apparently knows everything. And then you got Garrett Wilson saying, talk to head coach. I can't tell you how long I'm going to be out either. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so there's a few different things there. They did give people something to write about, right? Everybody wrote it today. So my point stands on that. You know, coaches have always tried to control injury information. That's not new. I do think when there's a situation like this, it's a little silly. Like, I don't think there's anyone on earth who expected Garrett to play Thursday. So I'm not sure why you're playing that game. Like, right, the guy got hurt. He re-injured a knee on Sunday. You have a game on Thursday. Like, logically he's not playing. Whether that's 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks or 2 weeks, he's not playing this week. So I think he could have come out and said that. And he sort of lectured us, if you remember, guys, when Justin Fields got hurt in training camp that day with the toe injury, and it kind of created hysteria. And he lectured us the next day and said, I'm not going to BS you guys about injuries, but like you guys can't just go running off like doing, speculating. And that day was a lot of speculation. It wasn't reporting. What Rich did was reporting, and I'm pretty sure Rich is going to be proven to be accurate, and he's probably going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. Rich is not a sloppy reporter, but the media is an easy target, Ryan. Whether it's sports, whether it's politics, the president has made a career out of attacking the media, right? And we're an easy target. Most people don't like the media when you hear the media as a whole, so it's easy. So I understand fans going that route, but I think it's a losing battle for him, and I think he could have handled it better. Again, like I spoke with somebody, a former head coach last night about it and stuff, and they were just like, you can no coach wants to give injury information out, right? But you don't have to be combative about it. And picking a fight like that is probably not the way to go. And if he wanted to make a point, if he was upset with Rich, he probably should have spoken to Rich privately and not made it public like that. And but that's how he wants to go. And again, if you win games, nobody cares, Ryan. No one will care how he is in press conferences if he's winning games. If you're 2-7, it gets a little more dissected.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's certainly like I've tried to discuss this with like Frankie and others off the record, like not even off the record, but just like inside conversations, and it's this fascination of. I think a lot of these newer coaches are trying to go the Bill Belichick route. Like you said, don't give any information out. I'm going to answer the questions my way. And you guys can keep asking me however many times, but I'm just going to give it my way.
Yeah.
But like you said, it always comes down to Belichick has the rings. He has the wins. He can get away with that crap against the media. And we just laugh it off because, he wins. He does it his way and it works. But all these unproven commodities that come in at head coach and they try to establish their program like Aaron Glenn, it just comes off as like you're being an arrogant ass. And that's to me as a fan, but also who works in the media too. And I've worked in the media my whole professional career. There's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. And what I see from Aaron Glenn, this is the wrong way to go about it. I don't care what fans say about, F the media. They're screw them. Like they don't know what they're talking about. They're always against the Jets. They're always negative. It's like the Jets do it to themselves. Who are we kidding? Like Frankie knows, and that's where I want to toss to you, Frankie. Like, you know what we're talking about. They do it to themselves as an organization. So that's why Kaz and the guys are going to write negative pieces about it, because that's what's going on. Am I wrong here, Frankie?
No, I think you're right. The question I was going to ask Kaz, though, and I think this brings up, I think, the most interesting point here overall is, Kaz, when you're saying this could bite Aaron Glenn in the behind at some point down the line, fans have said that. I've said that. What does that actually mean now? Like, we're assuming that at some point when Aaron Glenn does go on even a longer losing streak than maybe he went on the first half of this season,
Yeah.
which I hope he doesn't, but is the media really going to parade on this guy and start writing, let's say, a few hit pieces here and there? Like, is what he's doing now going to make it more likely or prone for the media? And I'm not saying you specifically, just overall. This could be, whoever, the Athletic. Yeah. Is this something where he's poking a bear and then sort of waiting for that bear to sort of say, you know what, I've had enough of you treating us like this?
Yeah, I don't want to speak for the entire media. Number
Yeah,
one,
of course.
because I don't like when we all get grouped together. I'll speak for myself. Like, I think what happens is we're human, right? So I think you lose the benefit of the doubt when you start to do this. I think if you treat us with respect, and you don't have to be friends with the media. Like, I think that's a misconception too. Like, just treat us respectfully. I think if there's a situation where it's like, is this coaching? Is it quarterback? Is it the roster? Like, the coach might get the benefit of the doubt in that situation. But if you're combative and fighting all the time, you're probably not going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you'll get looked at harder. I don't know if anyone will write hit pieces. I mean, look, I think the argument for that, Frankie, would be Robert Saleh was very friendly with the media, and there were some stories written that weren't very nice to Robert Saleh toward the end. So it didn't help him. I think that's the argument against being uh, friendly with the media. So yeah, I don't, I think it just creates, it's an unnecessary thing is what it is to me. If I was looking at it from like Jets management perspective, is like, we have enough to deal with Mike Vrabel and Drake May and then Lamar Jackson next week. And, we have Josh Allen in the division, and our quarterback isn't playing particularly well. We've scored one touchdown in the first quarter on offense. Like, we've got to figure out who's going to be on this team. Like, there's so many things to worry about. Let's not add the media to that list. And let's actually act like what we say, which is, we don't worry about the outside noise. We cut out all the outside noise, but then you really don't, because you react to everything. So, like, actually do what you're preaching. Ignore it. Ignore it. Who cares that Rich reported that Garrett's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, right? Like, you could come out and say, guys, I know it's out there, but we're still evaluating him. When we have something to say about Garrett Wilson, we'll say it, but we don't have it right now. But don't make it like, ask Rich, ask Rich. Like, just, I think it's creating an unnecessary layer of what you're trying to deal with here as a first-time head coach. And someone texted me yesterday, said, like, what's his end game? And I don't know. I don't know if there's a plan here in terms of dealing with the media. So, and again, I want to emphasize this because I see this all the time, that, oh, the beats hurt. I do not care. I don't. Like, if you heard, if the tape was still playing at the end of yesterday, I was laughing.
No, yeah.
Some guys were really upset. I was cracking up because I found the whole thing so amusing. And I told her, all I care about is give me something to write about. Gave us something to write about. It was interesting. So I do not care. Like, you're asking me about it, so I'm telling you, I don't care. And if he wins game, it does not matter. So,
Well,
Right, let me bring up
ahead,
one,
Frankie.
just one quick thing. You know what I think's happening with Glenn this week? I think he knows at what a disadvantage we are going into this game. I think he's pissed off about the injuries. I think he's looking at that Patriots team and he's like, I don't know. I know what we're getting into right now, and we're going after a team that is on a 7-game win streak and just ready to run it up on us. So I think he's a little bit worried, Aaron Glenn, and he seemed a little bit didn't seem so happy the last couple days. He didn't have that shine of hey, I just won 2 games in a row. So I think he's looking at the disadvantages they're having, little pissed off about it, and he's taking it out on the media.
I also think he's working his ass off too, Frankie. Like the short week is tough on a coach. Like he's
For
working his ass
sure.
off. I'm doubt he slept very much before that press conference yesterday. It's a tough turnaround.
True.
You're game planning. So I do think I have noticed he's a lot more relaxed in the press conference situations on Mondays and Fridays, if you've ever noticed. Like, and I feel like that's because on Mondays he's coming off the game. He's they're making their corrections. He can kind of analyze, and then on Fridays the work is mostly done, and he's a little more relaxed. The Wednesday press conferences are the ones, and the post game press conferences obviously are the ones that tend to be a little more tense. And so I think it's probably about just how hard he's working.
I also think, you know, I wonder if you tell me, guys, do you think that the Jets PR is kind of like going when they see those that that happen, and it's like they speak to him like, "Hey, Aaron, like,
Yeah,
like you could be a little bit nicer about it. Like, there's no reason to take a shot at Rich or anyone else here in the room. Like, I don't know.
I don't think Aaron Glenn is interested in PR advice.
Interesting.
I
All
think
right.
I think I think he's calling his own plays. One more point I just want to make in Rich's defense, right? Because Rich takes a lot of crap on social media, and Rich is a really good reporter.
He's
He's
a
done
good
this for a really
reporter.
time.
Yeah.
And what Rich reported is not gossip. Like I've seen that of like, oh, he's teaching the media not to like make stuff up. Rich didn't make it up. And again, I'm pretty sure he's going to be right. And so he got this from a good source. And so like this is different than reports about things like that aren't, injury related. Like
Right.
this or transactional. Like this isn't like a gossipy thing about what's going on in the locker room or anything like that. I understand fans getting annoyed with that stuff, but this is solid reporting, and he doesn't deserve grief for it.
I completely agree with you, Kaz. What is Aaron Glenn's end game? No one knows. And like you said, if wins happen, it doesn't matter. But guess what? The Jets have only won 2 games this year, and it's completely come crashing down on him. So I wonder again if he's trying to do the guy in the corner, just going to keep swinging until something comes through and I can finally break through. But like Frankie said, also he's got a really tough matchup this week, and that's where we're going to transition into the key matchups for this week again: Jets versus Patriots. I think there's a couple interesting things here to focus on, but I'm interested to hear what both of you guys have to say. So I'll start with you guys. What is your key matchup between the Jets and Patriots that you're looking forward to tomorrow night?
Can they stop the run? Can the Jets stop the run? I saw what Travion Henderson did against Tampa. It was pretty impressive. I think that's helped Drake May greatly. Ramondre Stevenson, if I'm not sure if he's going to play, but they have a good running game. And while we're talking injuries, Harrison Phillips had a boot on his foot in the locker room yesterday. So I do not think Harrison Phillips is going to play in this game. I don't know that, Coach Glenn. I don't know. I don't, but I'm speculating that he might not play, and I think that will hurt the Jets greatly in the run game. I don't know what's going on linebacker still. Is Quincy going to be back in there? I think Kiko is probably out of the concussion protocol now, so is he in there? But the Jets have struggled at times against the run this season. Judkins did have some success last week, so I'm curious if they can stop the run against the Patriots.
It's a good one. That's a good one to pay attention to, especially with the Harrison Phillips note there. And like you said, how are they going to play? Like Quincy did come in during the game against the Browns and made some plays. So I wonder if they try and keep that rotation going. Frankie, what's your key matchup here for Jets Patriots?
Well, if you guys remember coming into the season, I was talking to you all about a player I really like that's not on the Jets section, the Patriots, a tackle. Remember Mr. Alligator Arms?
Yeah.
Will Campbell?
Yeah.
Alligator Arms. So Will Campbell, he's had a decent season. Has given up some sacks, had some penalties, but overall has played okay. Fourth overall pick, obviously. I want to see how the other Will McDonald, does against Will Campbell. I think that matchup's super interesting. Two very different style of players. Will Campbell, obviously, he's got the alligator arms, more stout, powerful in his base. Not a big guy, not long at all. Actually, one of the stockier tackles in NFL history at left tackle. Versus a very long, lean build in Will McDonald. I want to see how Will McDonald's able to take advantage of that matchup. Is he able to give him that spin move? Is he going to be able to get leverage on the outside? You're coming off 4 sacks, man. Don't disappear after a 4-sack game, because a lot of fans, they look at Will McDonald and they go, oh, look at his numbers at the end of the year, then they're going to go point to this game and say, well, that's the anomaly game. Take that out. Then he has, 7 sacks. Make sure you at least are productive in this game. Get a sack and a half or two, Will. But that's my key matchup. I think if we're able to get some pressure on Drake May, we love to run man, obviously. We're top of the league in running press man. We're going to have to get to the quarterback with these guys on the outside, and I want to see how the Will matchup looks right there.
That's a good one. And I would love to see Will have another strong game against especially like Will Campbell. I think if Will can continue to stretch down the second half, he's trying to play for a new contract here soon. This is what, year 3 for him, right, Coz? So, I mean, or year, yeah.
Yeah, year 3.
So, I mean, he's right there. I mean, he's trying to earn his money. And I think if he has another strong double-digit sack season for him, he's building that resume up for him, and you're hoping that he can develop as well. I think my matchup for me, guys, is going to be ultimately Breece Hall versus this Patriots rush defense. The Patriots have the best rush defense in the NFL. They are giving up the least amount of yards to opposing running backs and opposing teams. Currently, they're averaging 79.2 yards per game given up on the ground. And that's not, it's not coincidence that Mike Vrabel, since he's taken over this unit, they've gotten a lot better. And the Jets are going to be predicated, like, if the quarterbacks can continue to struggle, they need to be able to run the ball with Breece, and Breece has to have success. That one run he had in the second half was insane. That Kaz had highlighted on Monday in our show about just 2 defenders right there in the hole, and he just jukes the hell out of them. Yeah. Crazy run. So if Breece can continue this run that he's been on these 2 weeks against a much better defense, in fact, the best rush defense, that'd be sick to watch this tomorrow night. I do want to go to Stump Coz. He got me twice. Yes. Both times he got me.
You're going to come up with some freaking crazy 1960s question now.
No.
Yes, he's going to go in his bag with this one.
Yeah. Here we go for Stump Coz. Coz, who owns the record for the most passing yards in a single game for a Patriots quarterback versus the New York Jets?
Most passing yards in a single game. I'm going to go Mac Jones.
Incorrect. It was not Mac Jones. It was Matt Castle on November 12, 2008. In the Jets 34-31 win over the New England Patriots. And who was the Jets quarterback?
Yeah, Brett Favre.
That's
right.
Tell
you the story? Want me to tell you the story of that game?
Yeah.
That was before I was on the beat. Okay. So I was a general assignment reporter at the Post at the time. I went to St. Kitts on vacation, and I came back on Wednesday. And Thursday morning, I got a call. That was a Thursday night game. I had a call that Mark Cannizzaro was our beat writer at the time. Couldn't make the game. He was dealing with something. He couldn't get to the game. Could I get to Foxborough? So I was young, no kids at the time. So yeah, I drove up to Foxborough. And that was one of the toughest games ever to cover because it was back and forth. And then, the Jets won it in overtime. Was insane. Randy Moss caught a touchdown right before the end of regulation, right? That it was an insane game. I was thinking the Mac Jones game, Ryan, of when they won 54. What was Salah's first year when they put 50
Salah's
points?
First year, he had 389 yards. Matt Castle had 400 passing yards against the Jets.
So he said Jones was second?
Jones was second. Brady is third, believe it or not. That's crazy. You figure the easy answer would be Tom
Brady.
Brady.
It wasn't Brady when you asked the question. Yeah. So I thought of Castle, but I forgot you have Dick. So all right, that's a good one.
All right, I got Kaz. I finally got him. Here we go.
And then they beat the Titans the week after that. The 10-0 Titans, remember? And that's the only time I've ever been convinced the Jets were going to the Super Bowl. When they beat the Titans, I'm like, this team is going to the Super Bowl. They're that, like, they are so good. Beat the Patriots, beat the Titans. Didn't happen
because I was
been all downhill since.
No, I'm kidding. Well, no, 2009, 2010.
I know.
I mean,
I didn't even think they were going to the Super Bowl then, though. Like
I didn't either.
2010, I did. 2010.
2008 was the best Jets team that I've seen.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Favre before he got really, really hurt was on an insane run. At that
roster
point.
Was ridiculous.
Yeah. And yeah, that was the 1 year without Brady in his prime in 2000.
Yes, yeah. You had the opening without Brady, but the Dolphins had a pretty good quarterback.
Just like the Jets had an opening before Drake May and Mike Vrabel, and now it seems like that's going away too, that window. But here we go. Over-unders and picks, fellas. Woof, Frankie. Woof.
It's
One
a
in
bad
five
one.
for you.
Damn
One in
it.
five. And you
That
know
means
what?
Kaz did great this
Kaz
week.
went 6-0.
I knew it.
6-0.
6-0.
I thought the
Are
Judkins
you
won. What
serious?
was the Judkins number, Ryan?
The Judkins
80,
number was
80 and a half.
81 and a half. And
81
he
and a
went
half.
And he
under.
had and he went 75, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
And the
75.
first
Oh,
play, he had like 10 yards there, got called out
yes.
for holding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking of that. I actually thought of that one during the game.
Kaz
Wow.
currently
6-0.
6-0. Now, if you've been following along with Mr. Costello, he is now 35-25. That is up 10 units over
Feeding
the
families,
season.
baby.
Feeding families right before Thanksgiving. All right, fellas. I'll start off. They don't have any Jets quarterback props. Maybe because Aaron Glenn doesn't want to tell us who the starting quarterback is.
Would you be surprised, guys, if Tyrod Taylor comes out and trots out there with the starters? Would that be shocking to anybody?
I'd be surprised. I'm not sure I'd say shocked. I think
Okay.
we talked about this. Ryan and I talked about this Monday. Like the short week, I think it's tough. They didn't have one real practice. I think it's tough to change
Yeah.
your quarterback. So yeah, I'd be surprised.
I think it's halftime, Frankie, when the Jets are negative 12 passing yards again before halftime. And they're going to go to Tyrod, hopefully. But, Aaron Glenn's stubborn. It's his way. He wants to do it his way. Guys, Drake May, 241 passing yards. Kaz,
What was that number?
241 and a half pass yards.
Ugh, that's
That's a
under.
big number.
That's a big number. Under.
Okay. Frankie, he's also on like an MVP track, Drake May, right now. He's playing unreal. Frankie, 241 and a half pass yards for Drake May.
I'm gonna, guys, with those injuries on the outside there, I'm gonna have to go over there.
Okay. Drake May, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Kaz.
Over.
Yep. Frankie,
Over.
got it. All right, let's go to the Patriots receiver. Stephon Diggs, 54 and a half receiving yards. Kaz.
Over.
Frankie,
I'm gonna go under.
under.
I
Joe
have my
Judy
fantasy
had
team.
a great week last week, of course. And Stevens, I think, has played well. Brownlee did not play well last week. He had a rough day.
Not on the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not where he should be playing.
Yeah, it's not where he should be playing.
He
Mason
almost had the interception.
He did.
hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Let's go to some Jet players. Very few props here, but they do have Mason Taylor, 32 and a half receiving yards. Kaz.
Man, that's a tough one. I don't understand his usage at all last week.
No sense.
I'll go over on that. I think they're going to force the ball to him.
Okay, Frankie.
I'm gonna agree with Kaz there. I'm gonna go over.
All right, Brees Hall. They got this as a 15 and a half receiving yards. Kaz.
15 and a half.
Receiving yards.
Over.
Ooh. Vegas knows something. They know they want to try to get the ball to Brees in the passing game. Frankie.
I'm gonna go over too. I
All
love
right.
those props with Brees because I'm thinking to myself, he could take any pass
Correct.
for
Yeah.
over 15
He had
yards.
he
you
had
know?
one
So-
catch last week.
One game.
Yeah,
It's
the only
rea-
first down of the game, Kaz passing.
It's the only reason they didn't finish with 12 passing yards or whatever the hell it was. Brees Hall, finally, 58 and a half rush yards. Kaz.
Oh, that's kind of low.
The Patriots finally gave up.
I know. Patriots are great against the run. 58. I'm going to go under.
Frankie.
All right, guys. I'm a big advocate of PFF's next gen stats. You know where they have the Patriots rush defense? Actually, I can't believe this. This is the biggest difference I've ever seen. They're ranked 20th against the run, the Patriots, which I don't get where they're getting that number. I'm going to follow my PFF guys over there. I'm going to go over with this one. I think that rush defense is very overrated. Just going to throw that out
Well, I will say they gave up the first running back got over 50 yards rushing in a game. That was Sean Tucker last week against the Buccaneers. The Patriots did give that up. So we'll see if the Brees Hall can just get over 58 and a half. Oof. All right, fellas.
I just think the Jets are going to be behind.
Yeah,
I
that's
think they're going to be able to
one
run
thing.
the
I
ball.
know.
I think they're going to be
That's
throwing.
true.
The whole second half is going to be passing with Tyrod.
With Tyrod. I agree. Let's do some
Yeah.
predictions. Let's pick this game. I'll start off with Frankie. You and Kaz were both right. I was wrong. But I'll start with you, Frankie. Your predictions for this game. Jets are 12.5-point dogs against Patriots.
Hey, guys and gals and everyone out there. This is going to be a rough one. This is, I think, going to be all falls down kind of game. I have nothing I can look at unless we get lucky again with two special teams touchdowns or we get an interception. By the way, Drake May's now thrown an interception in 3 consecutive games, so we'll see if we're gonna continue that streak. We haven't had a pick all year. So unless something like that happens, where like what Kaz just said, if we're able to not get behind so far and you're able to put together a little bit of a lead or at least keep it close, you could utilize guys like Brees. But this is mission impossible to me. This is going to be Aaron Glenn's biggest challenge. And the way he's been acting the last couple of days doesn't give me any confidence in himself. He seems like unsure of himself. He's been uneasy. He's pissy. I think he's been looking at that tape and looking at those injuries. I think they're going to wipe the floor with us. I think this is going to be the game. This is going to be a dog walk kind of game. They're going to dog walk us.
Can't wait to hear the score, Ryan. I swear to God, if he turns around and says 24-17, I'm slamming the microphone down. All right, because he's building this up, so this better be some score here.
Yeah, guys, score 34-7. It's going to be a little molly-whopping there. I think, listen, you know what? By the way, if anyone at the Jets is listening, do you want to know how you can win this game really quick? I'll give you a simple formula. Do not run man coverage, Steve Wilkes. Don't run press man. Completely flip the script. Run some exotic zone. Go and look at what Belichick used to run or whatever. Like, take some game script from a defensive coordinator, completely flip it. Then Drake May might get confused out there. If they come out and run this little press man thing all game with their crossers, they're going to eat us alive. And I think Wilkes is just going to go. It's like the old dog. You can't teach him new tricks kind of thing. So
I haven't seen the Jets being able to stop a crossing route since Jerry Jeudy dropped the ball that hit him right in the hand.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to be able to stop the crossing
especially on
routes
misdirection, Rye. All the time, man.
Guys, what's your prediction for this one?
Hard to follow that, Frankie. I feel like I'm going to be an optimist here. I don't think the Jets are going to win this game. I don't see a route for them to win. I think I've picked them the last 4 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 of them right.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm picking the Patriots in this one. It's just, I think it's a bad matchup. I think what Frankie's saying is like, if you wanted to try to throw a curveball here, tough to do that on a short week, right?
Good point.
They did not have one real practice. They had a walk through Monday, walk through Tuesday, walk through Wednesday. So hard to flip the script on what you do in that kind of scenario. So, and I think the injuries are bad, right? I think that there's a lot of injuries. I think AZ Thomas being out hurts. Brownlee did not look comfortable on the outside. Harrison Phillips, like I mentioned, I don't think he's going to play. Obviously, Garrett being down. Uh, you know, can AD Mitchell get on the field this week? Maybe, but I don't know what you expect from him. So, Patriots are red hot. I'll go Patriots 30, Jets 14.
30-14. Okay.
Oof.
All right, fellas. I'll make this short and sweet. Patriots are going to blow out the Jets on Thursday Night Football. It'll be 40-3.
Wow. Wait, 40.
Wait.
43 or
4-2 or 4-0-3?
40-4-0-2-3.
Okay.
Yep.
Oof.
Wow.
That's a rough night.
I think
Wow.
Aaron Glenn's going to be stubborn as hell and keep Justin Fields and make him look as miserable as possible on that field tomorrow night. And he won't go to
benched him
Tyrod.
against Carolina.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I know.
And he's not announcing him the starter too, right? Maybe he's thinking about putting in Tyrod,
I don't think the only way he's putting Tyrod in is like Kaz said, if it's a halftime thing and like they got -10 passing yards again and they're doing
That wouldn't happen, would it?
I mean, we all see it, fellas. We all see it. All right, that's a show, guys. Kaz, enjoy Foxborough tomorrow night. Stay warm, and hopefully it's not too bad of a game for you tomorrow night. And we appreciate you as always for hopping on with us, and we're looking forward to your coverage. Frankie will be doing the post-game live show here on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. Check that out. And until next time, go Jets. Thanks, guys.